Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my partners in crime as usual, James Hanson and Amanda Bryant. And today we have Michael Schaefer joining us as well. Um, so we're talking about Survivor 43 episode 8. And there was a few couple moments, but other than that, tribal the second half was kind of boring in my opinion. I don't
Yes.
know how you guys feel about it, but that's where I stand. I think the Jesse moment was awesome because I don't think anybody really had an idea of that. I didn't see anybody thinking that was that thing. And that's about it for excitement with this episode. But what you guys
It's
think
very
of the episode?
lackluster. Yeah, it was a very lackluster episode. It just didn't have a lot of punch to it like the past episodes have. And I think that this season as a whole is kind of like that. It's very hit and miss with episodes, especially in Merge. Like, we should not have a lackluster episode like this. So I think it was kind of a disappointment for fans, but the Jesse thing was really cool. I don't think anyone expected that. I didn't hear that theory on anyone's podcast or around the bin or at all. So I think it took the Survivor world by shock. And I actually, when that happened, it was funny because it happened right when you first started watching the episode. So I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a great episode. But it was pretty much just kind of all like boring downhill from there. So what do you guys think?
To me, it's kind of been indicative of the whole season. I'll just be honest, I have not been a fan of this season very much. I think out of the three, since Survivor's come back, this has been the worst one so far. But it seems like it was going to be a lot of hope, kind of like the season. The season felt like it was going to be very good, showed some promise, and then just hasn't delivered. And I feel like this episode was almost exactly like that. There were so many points in the episode where we could have gotten some more excitement or could have gotten a big move to happen, and instead we got nothing.
Yeah, I completely agree with what Michael said. I'm not a huge fan of this season so far. And I think that this episode was one of the worst we've seen. I think it was very boring. And the lack of strategy going on is apparent, that sometimes they're struggling to even like fill what's going on. Like, they're talking about Ryan fishing, or they're spending more of the time than they should this episode on camp life and stuff. And like, we just don't really see any strategy going on. I mean, Janine went home. They could have gotten rid of her pretty much whenever they wanted, anytime. And then there was a lot of bark but no bite too. Like, we had Sammy and others saying that they're going to flip here again and get rid of Ryan, and it just doesn't happen. And not only did that happen, even some people from Janine's own alliance voted for her. So we're kind of just seeing some very uninteresting votes. And I mean, they're making it pretty obvious who's going home. So that's no fun either.
Yeah,
That's true.
so this is it was weird. So I feel like it like they seen the internet community say, "Oh, there's this portion that's like I want old Survivor fishing and stuff like that," and they're like, "Oh, we'll give you an episode of that." But it's like that should be like early on and not at the merge area. Like, good for Ryan for catching all those fish. That's impressive, but like it didn't add anything to the episode for me. It's just like he's
This
been doing
episode
this.
should be done by like episode 3.
Yeah,
I
same
want to see
thing
some
with the
strategy. I want
backstory.
to see gameplay. I don't want to see people looking for food or being like, "Oh, how's your day?" I don't care. Play the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, I don't mind a food segment, like them talking about how hungry they are. That's fine, but like if they had one of those segment instead of three of them that they had, this deep on, and I'm tired. It's to the point where we don't need any more backstories. Like, we need to stop going back to these backstories. We already kind of
Yeah.
know the characters. Let's see them interact. We want to see the characters interact, even if it's just them talking about home life, if it's talking about Survivor Day. We don't want one-on-one conversations every episode with one person every episode. So,
No.
but
Yeah, and
I
go
think
ahead.
that
I mean,
this has to be like a window into the season of how the season is playing. Like, these people are probably just boring. Like, if there's no content to be able to talk about strategy and you have to spend a whole segment on Ryan fishing because he's not giving anything strategically, like, I think that I like, and that's the crappy part is I like this cast. Like they're very likable. You want to root for them, but they're not great game players, which doesn't translate to us. Exactly, they're boring, and we've already know their backstory, so they keep reverting back to that backstory because they have nothing else to go off of. And so that's what it seems like to me.
See, I disagree with the bad gameplay just a little bit. I think the problem is that the top players are all working together and they're doing what's smart, which is let's take away because Jesse keeping a person like Janine or Cody keeping a person like Janine, or Sammy keeping her really isn't necessarily like that smart of a play because the longer she's in the game, the more enticing she's going to be to take further within the game. So getting somebody out like a Janine who's kind of at the bottom, who's kind of probably can't win the game at this point, is a good move for the better players. Is not a good move for the mediocre to bad players or the bottom of the food chain.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I wouldn't say all around there's bad gameplay. Like I said, in general, it's kind of, I think, bad gameplay, but there are some people, some of the top players like Cody, Jesse, Carla, I think are playing very strong games. But I think that right now they're in a position where they could just play it safe. So we haven't seen them need to make that real flashy move yet. But I mean, I'm sure we'll see it sooner rather than later. Somebody's gonna have to step up and make a big move. Even if all these people get picked off in a row, I mean, those 7 are going to have to turn each other at some point. So
I just want to point this out. Jesse's move by taking Dwight's the idol from Dwight, then voting Dwight out, while everybody assumes that Dwight left with Janine's idol, then voting Janine out. It could go down as one of the most savage plays ever.
I think it would have been more savage if he had to go face Dwight on the jury and said Dwight's not even on the jury.
Yes,
that's fair. That's fair.
I agree.
But it's still a really good play we haven't seen done like that since Game Changers, where Sarah kind of voted, I think it was Allison out, where she gave her the legacy advantage, even though she acted like she did it. Oh, Sierra. So my apologies. So we haven't seen something like that since then. So it's kind of
and they really didn't play it up. They really didn't play that up, and I wish they would have. I feel like Survivor just kind of. I mean, they made it like the first part of the episode and then kind of glossed over the rest of it. Like we need more Jesse shock value to appreciate that. Yeah, they want the shock value of it, but like we need more Jesse content in order for us to be fully impressed by this. Like we need more of that, especially if he's going to be a winner. Like let's pretend Jesse is the winner this season. Like I feel like they just kind of shadowed that move a little bit.
Well, look at the last 2 winners. They've shown nothing of Erica or Marianne when they won. So, that's just what they're doing now. They're just going to not show anything about the winner.
Well, I think Marianne got a
better edit than Erica did.
Much better edit than Erica.
And compare her edit to like the edit Mike.
A lot of it came later on too. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think Jesse's edit is fine. It's just like we haven't gotten a ton of screen time from him, but when we do, I feel like those confessionals are sort of winner-esque quotes that he has a lot of the time. So that's always something I pay attention to with the edit. And that's why I always narrow it down to maybe like at this point, like 4 or 5 people. And I'm like, one of those 5 are winning the game. Like no one else is. And sometimes I'm wrong, like with Erica.
At the same time, though, it's kind of good to say that half the cast can win the game. You know what I'm saying? Because like we're at what final? What are we at? Final.
It depends on what you mean by that. Is it that half the cast is playing a great game, or is it like only half the cast is playing the game?
That's true.
That's true.
That's fair.
I feel like we're rooting for Jesse. We're rooting for Cody. We're rooting for Carla. I would even say some people are still rooting for James, even though he's made some terrible game decisions these past couple of episodes. But he's still rootable. And there's even like a small niche of the community that is like a huge Gabler fans and wants Gabler to win. So it's like there are certain people that you do want to see win or could win. Don't point at me. I like Gabler. I'm not a Gabler fanatic, but I do like Gabler.
He's so bad.
He's so funny.
He
agree that
brings
he's
some
fun.
value to the season,
Yes,
at
he
least,
does.
though.
He does.
He brings
But
a different feel to it. He does.
so we did get a little bit of. I feel like Ryan watched the first like 5 seasons of Survivor and was like, "I'm gonna go play that," and hasn't watched this episode since because it seems like this man is playing Australian Outback Survivor or Borneo Survivor.
He
Like,
really is, though.
like
Do you remember
He's
who he said
Rupert.
he was most like
He's
on his
Rupert.
yeah.
I was kind of thinking more Ozzy, but it's still around the same thing.
No, Ozzy's better than him.
Yeah. But is that what he said he was most like? I don't remember.
I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay. But yeah, that's the entire time I watched, I was like, dude, this dude, I swear he only watched like the first like 5 or 6 seasons.
Oh, no. Which past time we played the game most like Ryan said Rupert.
I
get
told you, Rupert.
Yep, I
That's
see it.
literally Rupert. 100%.
Rupert's a terrible
He's
game
got
player
that-
as well.
Yes, he's got that certain quirk about him like that Rupert has. Like, because like Ozzy is at least charming. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's at least kind of like a ladies' man type of charming. Rupert does not have that, and neither does Ryan. And Ryan's not even a bad looking dude, but he just got that like that puppy dog to him. You know, that you just kind of want to pet him and say good
Yeah.
boy. Like,
It's like he's like, I want to go make this plane and then go fishing. And he makes this plane in 5 minutes, goes fishing. While everybody's talking about maybe blindsiding him, he doesn't even have a conversation about what's going on. He just thinks it's the same old plan. It's just crazy.
That's the definition of clueless.
Yeah. He's like, oh my goodness. Like, I swear to God.
That's the guy I want to drag to the end.
Oh yeah, I'm taking him to the end too. He has no idea. What's he gonna say when he gets to the final 3? I fish for you guys.
I would love to see him get to the end just to see what his final tribal council was like, how he would try to defend his game.
He'll list off all the different fish he caught for everybody.
and how many there were.
Last 2 seasons we've had, I think, 3 really bad final tribal councils with Deshaun, Xander, and Mike.
Mike was bad.
Yeah,
they were all bad.
Those 3 were really bad. The women did good, and Romeo did better than I expected to be. Best that he probably could have done in the circumstances he was in.
Yeah, he wasn't getting any votes no matter what,
but he probably
he had a rough game.
He at least answered the questions that was asked of him and backed them up, unlike Mike, Deshaun, and Xander did. Where they were asked questions.
I don't think Mike didn't do that. Mike didn't own his shit. That's his problem.
It's the same thing. Like,
it was, yeah.
It's like, how can you say you were loyal, but you betrayed me? But then he says, I was loyal. That's basically not answer the question.
He believes his own shit. Yeah.
So,
well, that's not going to win you Survivor.
No, I think Ryan could be that really bad tribal council this year.
I don't know. I think he might be worse.
So
depends on how delusional he is about his game, but obviously we don't know because they don't show jack shit.
Yeah.
So who left do you guys consider GOAT material besides Ryan? Gabler.
No, you guys are crazy. Gabler has a good story. He's won. How many immunities has he won or competitions has he done well in? He strategizes. He's gonna say that Ellie's vote out was his. He's gonna say that he helped with the Janine vote out for sure. He's got it. You guys are blinded by him being a goofy character that he's not a good player.
Well, how often
there's goofy characters who are great players? He's an awful player.
Yeah, he's not.
I don't think he's an awful player. There's a difference between awful players. Gabler is not the worst of the worst.
Okay, I won't say Alec Gabler is the awful player, but
think of the worst of the worst of Survivor. Gabler is at least better than them. I mean,
but
seriously.
That's not a very high bar to clear.
This is what's going to happen.
But
he has a chance to get to finals. He has a chance to get to finals and get 1 to 2 votes. And then people are on the internet going to be like, oh, I love Gabler. He did this. He did that. Why didn't he win the game? Oh, because he didn't do nothing besides be Gabler.
But he has. He's a forceful player. He says what he wants to do. He tries to do it.
Let me ask you a question.
He tries. He doesn't succeed.
Getting out Ellie there.
He tries, but he at least puts effort in. He at least puts
Getting-
effort in, and he's not like Ryan who does nothing. You're gonna say that Ryan's a better game player than Gabler?
I
Come
didn't
on.
say
Did I
that.
say that?
I didn't say that.
No,
Anybody say that?
no,
It goes
no,
Ryan.
but no one
Gabler.
said that Ryan was an awful awful, terrible. Blah.
Oh,
Like,
he's
everyone
awful.
You
is
just
such-
did.
He's
He
awful.
is, but you guys
You
are
just
not
spent time
talking
saying
about
how
his
awful
game play.
Ryan
All right,
was.
I'll give you Gabler's better than Ryan. I'll give you that.
I'll give you
He
that.
is. I would say that Gabler's better than Janine.
Janine's out of the game. It doesn't matter anymore.
I
Yeah.
know, but in the course of the season, they still play together, and he was better than her.
See, I don't think getting out Ellie was the smartest move for him.
It wasn't.
I think that was a bad move. I think
It
getting
was if
Ellie
she
out.
didn't trust him 100%.
But the thing is, she would have always gone home before him in that Baka 5. He would have been protected under that Baka 5 for at least 3, 4, maybe 5 rounds because they had a.
They were
because
they were already ready to throw Gabler under the bus. That's not true because they were already ready to throw Gabler under the bus as one of the first boots to go.
Yeah, but
They
who
weren't
would
going
have
to
been,
stick with Gabler
who
as
would
the
have been
Baka
seen as a
5.
threat on that tribe?
I think they were breaking up no matter what. I kind of agree with Amanda on that, but
He
I
would have
don't
been the
think
first
like
to go out
that.
of that 5. They would have decided.
I don't
He
know.
I don't
got
think
her first.
Ellie
I don't
just
think
went
so.
home because of Gabler, but I don't think it's a terrible move for him because I think that group was going to break up no matter what. So I think you have to look at the bigger picture.
I'm with Frank on this
And
one.
even if the Coco tribe and Bessie tribe came together and excluded Baka out, Gabler is still going to be a target for the other side for them. If he's winning
would've seen-
immunities,
they
and
would've
shit,
seen-
hell yeah,
he
he
is.
would.
They would have seen Ellie and Janine as a pair, and they would have been more frightened by those two. Sammy is really smart. They would have been frightened by him.
Sammy
Owen
and
is
Gabler
good
are a
athletic.
pair.
Athletic.
Owen's a physical threat and he's smart.
Yeah, he would have been the least threatening on that tribe until Ellie went home, and then he would have been above Janine. That's the way I see it. I don't think getting Ellie out there on the first merge boot is ever good, especially when you've never swapped with any of these people. It'd be different if they swapped, but they've never swapped.
I don't
They've
know.
never-
I hate that there's no swap.
Yeah, they need to bring that back. It's just it gets stale.
So I just watched a thing where I sent it to you guys where Christian and Rob were talking about that part of the issue is that when you get to the merge, when they're swapping, there's a possibility of, he said there was like 60 combinations of possibility of duos going into merge his season. And if you mathematically take the people, even if you put the summit in there, it was only like 21%.
Yeah.
So they need to go back to the swap. It'd be different. I don't mind them not swapping every season. If it's like we didn't swap this season, we swap next season or something like that. They need to keep changing it up and not keep it the same. If they don't want to swap some seasons, I'm okay with that. Like I was okay with the change of pace, but now it's like, okay, we need to go back to it.
Yeah,
Well,
now that they're making it like
and
the
change
norm,
of pace. Yeah.
if they're making
It's
it the
stale for
norm,
us.
that is not the right move at all. It's
If they're keeping one or the other the norm, they should have kept the swap.
yeah. And then like I'm with Frank. I think they don't have to swap every season, but I think that it brings something different to the table. And I mean, it became such a regular thing for so long that like, why are you just going to completely get rid of it? Like, was that the reason the show ratings have gone downhill? Is that the reason that people are complaining about the show?
Right.
It never has been.
Listen, the ratings also don't account for streaming. I hope you guys know that.
Yeah,
the ratings do
I'm
not
not
account
as
for streaming.
much of a.
Of course, I stream it. Do you guys stream it, or do you guys watch it on live cable?
I watch on YouTube TV. I don't know if that counts as towards
No,
the.
it's
I don't know if they
streaming.
count that.
It's a streaming
Yeah,
app.
I actually
Oh.
just got YouTube TV, but for a while I just had it on Paramount Plus. But now I can
record
it and watch it right when I get home from work or start it whenever. But I don't know if YouTube TV counts either. If that counts as watching it.
I don't think so. I think that's technically streaming.
I don't think so. I think it's streaming. And because I watch it through Hulu Live, so it's not going to count my viewership because you can. The only way a rating or a viewership will count is if you're watching on live cable television where you cannot pause it. You cannot pause it or edit it or whatever the case is. So
That's how I watch.
you have to, yes. So I mean, the people are going on and on about the ratings, and of course, it's not going to be as successful as Borneo, Australia, Outback, like Africa. We're never going to have those numbers ever again because one, there's way more television now than there was back then. Two, television is way more accessible now than what it was back then. You only had a fair few amount of channels back then you could watch, where now it's like literally endless. You can watch movies, television, streaming, whatever. You literally can watch whatever you want, whenever you want. Whereas back then, that wasn't a possibility. So, of course, the numbers are going to be lower as time goes on because, one, there's more television coming out, more competition. And two, you have such accessibility to watch whatever you want. They're not always going to pick Survivor every time.
Yeah. I
So
feel like
it's,
I feel like
I
there
don't
should
think
be a
it's
way to
Survivor's fault.
check it.
Yeah,
I
I
think it's Survivor's
completely
fault.
agree
Yeah.
with you, Amanda. I just I get tired of people bringing up the viewership because I say the same thing. It's just it's something that the casual fan will always bring up, that the viewership isn't what it once was. Like that, you will always get that, but there are a lot
just
of
want to hate on the show.
Oh, people just want to hate in general.
Yeah.
That's the trend nowadays. Is everyone's got to hate about something. But we as super fans, there are parts we like about Survivor. There's parts we don't like about Survivor. There's things we wish that they would do. But I will say that viewership itself has never altered me from watching Survivor because I'm a super fan. And I like that they cater to us, but at the same time, they don't listen to us at the same time because we are actively giving them, like Christian, Rob, super fans are giving them ideas and content to do to please their viewers that are watching every single season, and they're still not doing it because they're so worried about this general public Survivor that's going to watch general public Survivor no matter what. If there's general public, they're going to watch it no matter what. So why not go ahead and cater to our super fans who are enjoying it for more than just a casual viewership?
The ones who actually want to get on the show.
That's where I think they mess up. Yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah,
Because they're too busy recruiting.
There should be a way to check the streaming services. Say you can watch it on Hulu, YouTube. You can even watch it on DVR. There should be ways to count those. You think, right? Do you think there'd be easy way to track it and be like, where cable numbers are down, but our streaming numbers are at 2 point whatever million?
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, there's people who are our age, around early 30s, late 20s, grew up in this internet phase where there how many people have cable nowadays?
I
like
mean,
traditional
very
cable.
I have
Very
cable.
Not as many.
I only have it because when I moved down here, the Wi-Fi came with cable, or else I wouldn't have it either.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's why I used to have cable too. And then they changed it, and then I got rid of the cable. So
we only have streaming. But we have Hulu
if
Live
my thing didn't come with
that
cable,
has
I wouldn't
cable
have it.
channels.
Yeah, I stream, but I just got YouTube TV like recently, so yeah.
Yeah. So it's we're gonna watch it. We watch it religiously, and we still don't count as a viewer. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there's got to be way more of those.
I know it's not maybe totally feasible for them to go to 1.5 or 2 hour episodes, but I do think they could possibly add a bonus like hour every week and give it just to Paramount Plus subscribers. I feel like that's something feasible they could do that would please all the fans.
So I remember what they did for when they had the challenge over the summer was they had the episodes they put on YouTube they uncensored them. So like if you watched on Paramount Plus, you weren't getting the same show you watched on CBS. They should do the same with Survivor. You should get an extra 20 minutes on your episode if you watch on Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
and censor them so we can hear everything they're saying. Like, why bleep
let
it
me
out?
watch. Let me watch the entire Tribal. Tribal's like 3 hours long in real, like actual real time Survivor. We get 10 minutes.
I don't need to watch
the
3
whole
hours.
Tribal.
I don't need to watch 3
No,
hours.
you don't watch 3 hours of Tribal, but you can literally go to whatever part you want too.
Yeah,
you have to watch.
They could do more. They could do more with their Paramount Plus with Survivor. It just baffles my mind they haven't. Like,
there's so much footage they had that they just leave out and we never see.
And
right,
that's one of their marquee shows too. Like, not just like current season watching. Like, there are plenty of people that I'm sure never saw Survivor that binged it all on Paramount Plus, or there's people like us who go and rewatch old seasons on there. Like, it is one of their biggest draws is Survivor, and they could do extra stuff with it. Really,
Right, for sure.
Oh yeah.
It's but all right, so do you guys see anybody else being goats besides Ryan and Gabler? Amanda don't agree with Gabler, but three of us do.
Not really that completely stick out so far. I'm sure as we get another week or two, the goats will start popping
yeah,
up.
we'll
Or
see.
fade into
So,
the background. 'cause we won't
I
see them.
will stick my hand up and say I think I was a little wrong about Cassidy. I think I wouldn't give her a 0% chance to win anymore, but I think she's got some sort of
Go
strategic
on.
mind that I didn't think. I know she voted incorrectly that time, but at least she tried to stand up for something. At least
I
mean,
think she only did that just in case Janine played her shot in the dark and got it. Ryan would have gone home. Because if Janine plays her shot in the dark, there's no vote from her.
yeah.
So that's what Janine said in her exit interview. That's what she thinks she did that for.
And I mean,
I hope
it
Cassidy
seems
wins
like
this season
she's still not
so
over
bad.
Ryan
So bad.
voting for her earlier on in the game, I think. So she seems to have a vendetta against him for some reason, even though they're technically on the same side.
Yeah. So we'll see. So I think that's about for the goats. Power 5, rank your 5 favorites up to this point.
Well, wait, let's
Like,
talk
to
about
win the
Owen
game.
winning immunity.
Okay,
Let's talk
we'll
about
talk
Owen
about
winning immunity really quick. Yeah, I mean, for one, that I like that comp. That comp's a decent comp. I feel like it's fair across the board. I feel like there's no one that has an advantage over anybody else. Right?
I like it.
I mean, would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
fine.
always liked that comp.
I've
I
always
wish
liked that
Survivor did a
comp.
little bit
I think
different
it's
comps every once in a while, but
Yeah, next week looks like another endurance comp too.
mhm.
I don't mind staple Survivor comps. Not the
I
same
don't
ones
mind it
every
either, but
season
like
like Big
change them
Brother
up.
does.
Don't do all
Yeah.
endurance challenges.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's Survivor.
I don't
though.
mind them
Rough and tough
reusing old comps
endurance.
because there's so many that I like, but I just don't think they all have to be endurance. Like next week will be the third straight one where at the end of it came down to endurance.
Yeah, I think what they could do is do like couple staples and then come up with something new. Let's do more chop challenges and things like that. So see where people stand. I think those are always
That's
fun
boring
to
to
see.
watch though for television. That's why they don't do it. That's why they do all endurance challenges all the time, because it's entertaining to watch for that casual viewer that they're trying to pull. They
I think
know
chop
that we're
challenges
going
are
to
way
watch
more
it.
entertaining.
For us, they are. For super fans, they are. But for casual viewers, they like watching those endurance challenges. That's why they do them all the time.
No, you're
It's better for the camera.
You're 100% right. I think that is part of the reason why too, because a lot of the casuals are very big challenge oriented watchers, and that could be why. It's just I think that there's other entertaining comps that aren't just endurance comps. I mean,
You have to remember it's always a TV show first.
Yeah, it baffles my mind how
It's
many
true.
people watch the show for the competitions. Like, I never been someone like I don't hate the comps, like whatever, but like if there's less of them, it doesn't hurt my feelings. I actually kind of improves it.
I
in
will
my
say when
opinion.
I was younger, I liked the comps more, but then obviously once I got older and started realizing the strategy, then that took way more priority.
But like even people like older
boss,
that love the competitions, people love the competitions.
My boss at work is a casual fan of Survivor, and she tells me that she literally fast forwards it until she gets to the comp and watches the comps, and then she'll fast forward until she gets to tribal and she watches tribal. That's literally her Survivor watching. She doesn't watch anything in between. She watches the challenge and she watches the tribal, and then that's it. She doesn't watch anything else in between. Yes,
sounds like an awful way to watch it.
I know it, but she said that's the only part that she likes is tribal council.
Why did so and so go home? Maybe if I watched them talk about it, maybe I got my reasons.
I don't know. I don't think she cares why they go home. Yeah, I don't think she cares why they go home. I think she just watches them get voted out one by one until one's left.
So, my sister-in-law is actually binge watching all the Survivor seasons right now. So it's kind of funny. And she's like, it's crazy to me that I bring up a season and you kind of just like know what the theme is and
Oh
who
God.
won it and everything right off the top of your head. I was like, yeah, well, I watched them a bunch, so I said I
talk
talk
about it all
about
the
them
time.
a lot. So especially the newer seasons, like the newer seasons are easy for me to remember. So but
See,
yeah.
I remember the seasons I grew up with way more than I do the seasons that are most recent. Like I can't tell you hardly anything about season 38. I can remember much shit, but I can, talk about Cook Island till I'm blue in the face because I've watched it, when I was
38
younger and
was
watched it
Edge,
again when I was
right?
older.
38 was
Uh-huh.
Edge. Yeah.
If you could pick any scene between like
Mhm.
South Pacific and Game Changers, I can say exactly what happens.
Yeah, because
Every
it's what you
other
watched
thing,
live,
it'd be
right?
a little spotty.
Mm-hmm.
I think between Ghost Island and 39 was kind of rough.
David
There's a
versus
few
Goliath
seasons.
was in there though. You like that season?
Besides that, the other ones
Yeah.
were kind of rough.
Well,
No,
Game
the worst
Changers
was,
and Heroes, Healers,
Nicaragua
Hustlers
World.
weren't
Awful.
good either.
Yeah, I see. I don't know. I kind of have like this weird love of Game Changers lately. Like I don't love it. I think it's like
I enjoy
lower.
it.
I don't hate it as much as I used to. Maybe because
It's
I
not
hate
horrible.
It's
other
worth a
stuff.
rewatch.
Yeah,
There's maybe like 10 worse seasons. It just
right.
it didn't deliver to the title of the season, in my opinion.
I will give you that.
Because they had all the actual Game Changers were either not on the season or they were pre-merge.
Yeah.
The only good player that made the merge was Surrey.
Russell should have been on that season.
Oh, there should have been a lot of other people on that season.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm looking where to put Game Changers on my list. I put it 27 on my list.
yeah, so that's I remember hating
I think
it,
that's like a perfect spot
Can't
for it.
remember.
and yeah, that's about right. Sounds right to me.
I have to
27-ish,
look. Hold on.
give or take a spot.
It's better than Triple H or
I still think Triple H is better
I have
than
your list
Ghost
here
Island.
too, James. So
yeah. I think I have it better than Triple H. I don't know what else I have because I have Island.
I
to be
hate
higher
Triple
than
H.
most
Ugh.
people.
ugh.
I think Triple H is better than Ghost Island.
That's a bold
No.
statement. That's a bold
Triple H I
statement.
have is sixth worst.
Besides Dom and Window, the rest of that cast sucked.
I liked Ghost Island. I put it 29.
Game
but I
Changers
liked
was
it.
season 34, right?
Game Changers was 34. Yeah.
Okay, 5.
But just kind of crazy to think about because what Second Chance was with 31, so they had 2 All-Star seasons, like 3 seasons apart.
I have Game Changers top 20. Don't hate me.
You're also the same
I
person
do.
who probably
I
has the
have it
bone in the top 10.
Yeah, Cook Island's too high too. So
It's all right. There's some people that have Redemption Island like top 20. So
I have
That's
Redemption Island
That's like
last.
my worst one.
I think
That's
Vreeland
my
does,
yeah.
right?
That's not my worst season.
I
Vreeland?
listened to you
Vreeland
guys
likes all
podcast with
returning
Vreeland a few
seasons.
weeks ago.
Yeah,
He likes Redemption
Island.
Island.
Also, just 31st on my list.
yeah, he loves All-Stars too.
He loves All Stars.
But
I like All Stars. I don't like Redemption Island.
No, Redemption Island's last. And
So-
very few seasons have a chance to probably pass that.
Thailand.
I almost gave up during Redemption
Yeah.
Island.
You gave up
You guys
what?
watched Thailand, didn't you guys? You guys just watched
Unfortunately, we
Thailand this
did.
year, right?
Unfortunately, we watched
Yeah,
it.
Thailand is the worst. It's worse than Redemption Island.
I feel
I
like
don't know.
I feel like
Maybe-
for
maybe
Thailand, we should just watch the whole season and then just podcast once about it.
Yes. Yes.
You could probably knock it out of
That's
the
what we should
podcast.
do.
You
It's
could
really
do
not
it
much
all
there.
in one. Yeah, it's
We can
it's
do
not,
it in an hour.
It's fucking
I
terrible.
keep telling Frankie, like, they have those videos on YouTube that's like Survivor Thailand in 6 hours, and it like fast forwards to all the important parts. That's what you need to watch.
Like,
You know what I mean?
Frank,
Like sometimes they have those videos on YouTube where it's like this whole season in like 4 hours or whatever.
I
and
would
they just-
watch Australian Outback on repeat
No,
like 10 times
I'm
before I
telling
watch.
you guys, have
I
you
have not
guys?
seen Australian Outback in a long time.
You guys need to sit there and rewatch it, and I just want to hear your opinions about it because I rewatched it and I think it's dog shit.
I didn't say it's the most like exciting season, but we have the iconic like characters we got introduced
Which they
to.
are all better on different seasons. Besides Kobe,
Kobe
besides-
sucked in any season that wasn't Australia.
exactly. Besides Kobe, Jerry was better
Kobe
on
makes top
Heroes
5
vs.
on
Villains.
Heroes versus Villains. Kobe makes
he's
top
very
5
player,
on Heroes
Amanda.
versus Villains.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
That guy was a goat. He wasn't winning. I guess he would have won if he got there.
He would have won because that jury was bitter as hell.
Bitter as hell.
Yeah, I mean,
But he did not play good.
He did all right in All Stars too. He kind of just got picked off because he was a big threat.
Which made zero sense why he went after the winners, because logically he would be the biggest threat after that. Big dummy.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with you on that. I was
big. He's a big honey.
I liked him the least in Heroes versus Villains, to be honest.
Well, I think everybody who returned from that seasons, besides
was better in another season.
Was better in other seasons, and you just remember them being from Australian Outback. But during the season, Australian Outback, Amber was a ghost. She's better in All Stars. Jerry was made to be like this terrible person. She's better than Heroes versus Villains, even in All Stars probably too. I haven't watched All Stars.
You can look at Tina as the winner. She was better in Blood versus Water.
Better in Blood versus Water because she actually got content. Because she wasn't getting content. Besides Colby, everyone else is better in other seasons.
Scoopin plays in the final 3 in a season.
I don't want to talk about Scoopin.
We all know. We know that he's a piece of shit. But
let's move
Kimmy
on.
was better in Second Chance.
Kimmy was better in Second Chance. Much better in Second Chance.
I hate Kimmy. Ugh.
But she was better in Second Chance. She actually is playing to win the game.
Amanda doesn't care.
Kimmy didn't play bad in Second Chance, I don't think.
What did you say, Schaefer?
I said she doesn't care. She just wants to share her opinions.
Yeah.
All right, so let's we kind of went on a tangent. Who's your guys' top 5 this season, though? Top 5 who's left?
Amanda's gonna say
Cody.
We're all gonna laugh.
Yes. Cody. I would say Cody, Carla, Jesse.
Is this the order too?
No.
Okay.
Wait, what order am I supposed to put in? Likability?
No, on who you think is going to win the game. Best chance to win the game.
Carla, Jesse, Cody. I need to see like the whole cast at the same time. I mean, I put Owen up there, but Owen's not in a terrible. He just votes terrible. I mean, I feel like he's likable enough though. But Jesse, if him and James would just fucking work together, it'd be a lot better. But I like James too, but he's not a great player. He's made a couple bad moves.
I think it's easily Jesse's number 1 in my opinion. The Bull. I think it's probably his seasons to lose at this point by the edit. Just reading the edit because he's got a lot of content pre-merge, and he's made moves, and he he's been shown as the mastermind a lot throughout the season. Carla after that, I'd say Cody, James, and then I put Sammy at 5.
I was gonna bite the bullet and say I was totally wrong about Sammy.
I would say the same as Frank, except I'll swap Noel for James because I think if Noel can get in with some of these people and can find her way to maneuver the end game and get to the end, I think she would have a very good chance to win. So I'll still include her.
I don't think people are going to let her get to the end.
Yeah, that's the issue. I think she's going to make a great move this next episode with the double tribal though, with the steal vote.
Yeah, she can do something. Like I am not counting her out, and I've gone a little bit downhill on James and even Sammy. Like I think Sammy, he appears to be strategic and he's more likable than I thought. He's not as annoying as I thought, but he kind of seems like recently he's a lot of talk. He's a lot of bark and no bite because we've seen him talk about all these big moves and stuff and everything, but like, what have we actually seen him really like do?
I give you that. I think we'll see.
He tried last episode and didn't succeed.
Yeah.
But he at least tried.
I kind of agreed with you for the most part, Frank. I think I probably would swap James and Sammy because I feel like there's more there with Sammy than James. But besides that, I think it's kind of cut and dry.
Yeah. I think Noelle is a 6 in my positioning. I put Noelle 6. My biggest issue is that I feel like it's going to come to a point where if she makes it to like 6, people are gonna want to get rid of her, and she would have to go on a big immunity streak.
They're going
And
to see her as we can't let her get to the end because people want to give her the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
just like how if Daniel would have made it last season with his story, they would have said the same thing about Daniel. We can't let a cancer survivor get there. He's gonna win the money.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things. And that's not saying anything bad. Like she seems like a fun person, a great person, but that's just how they're gonna think about it. They may not say it, they may not even show that they're saying it, but I feel like it's being talked about.
Well, because if you're sitting there, you got to be like, what can I do so someone doesn't take money out of my pocket? You're out there for $1 million. You have to think
Big
about
facts, Schaefer.
Mhm.
No one wants money out of the pocket.
Right.
that. And
So
Amanda would throw a finish until someone took $1 out of her pocket. Never mind $1 million.
Yeah, we're throwing hands, bitch. Don't steal money from me.
but yeah, I think Owen is gonna be. I think if he can survive the next round, he has a chance to maybe do something, but he has to survive this next round. And I just think everyone else is kind of like Cassidy is a dark horse, but she has to do something in
I
the
need to
next.
see more.
I need to see more. I don't think she's
Mhm.
out of it. I just don't think. I just have a tough time seeing Gabler go in front of the jury and presenting himself and people taking him seriously. If he
Unless
does,
he does a complete about face when he gets
yeah,
to the jury and proves to be this very well-spoken
right.
charmer, he's not winning anything.
Yeah, I will come on here and admit I'm wrong if he does. I will sit there and
Yeah.
say Gabler's the king. He deserved it. Da da da. If he goes there and he's charming as hell, has good conversation, answers all the questions, and presents himself well, I'll come up here and say I was wrong. But I just have a tough time seeing it. And Ryan, I just have zero chance. I think he has
Oh,
zero
zero
chance of
chance
winning this
Ryan's
game.
winning.
So
No. Ryan's got zero chance winning the game.
I saw
You just
someone.
get a jury full of Ruperts.
I saw someone online comparing Ryan to Jonathan, and I was like, Jonathan was way better than Ryan. Like,
We
come
saw
on.
much
Yes.
more out of Jonathan than this.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
Jonathan showed potential within the game, other than just his physical strength.
Yeah.
For like
Was
a
Jonathan
hot
that great of a
second
player?
there, I thought we were talking about Pinner, and we're not talking about Pinner. We're talking about Jonathan from last season.
Oh,
And-
my God.
No.
Oh, that's my
I-
old Survivor talking.
Yeah, so Jonathan at least showed he had kind of a competent gameplay
Mm-hmm.
besides
Well,
the
Ryan,
physical aspect.
we don't see anything.
Don't see
But
nothing.
listen, Gabler and Jonathan both had that no bullshit awareness. You know, Gabler knew when he was trying to be bullshitted, other than the immunity idol part. But for like the Ellie and Janine part, he totally knew what they were doing. And the same thing with Jonathan last season. He was aware of what was going on, the strategy that was going on around him. He just couldn't keep up with the strategy. Where I feel like Gabler, that's not the case. I feel like he's keeping up strategically in a way, but he's just not making the right decisions for himself. I don't know. I feel like he's lost a little bit in this cast. I think if you take Gabler and put him in a different cast, maybe not. I don't know. I just don't think he's as bad as what you guys think he is.
I'm
Really
praying-
don't.
You notice how we weren't talking about Gabler and she had to bring him back up?
No, you guys just talked about Gabler.
I did.
Yeah,
You were
Frank
talking about
did.
Ryan.
That's not right. But look, I just don't think there's a chance. I'd be shocked if he wins. I'd be shocked.
I do want to see
I'd put money on
Gabler
that he
at
does not
Final
win this
Tribal
game.
Council now. Like,
I do too.
I'm picturing it, and I want to see it because I agree with Frank. I don't see the jury taking him seriously. Like,
Because
Maybe.
because the edit has shown us nothing about him being a fool throughout the whole season. That's the problem. We're being presented like where with
Yeah.
Marianne, when she was showing her quirky side, they would show her like relationship building skills as well. That's why it
Yeah.
was easier to see Marianne as a winner, where they see Gabler and they keep playing like dodo music and things like that. And then, but he does, and then like he has quotable lines like, I put Ellie's name out there because I wanted Ellie's name out there.
Yeah.
And Allie Gabler. Like he's got look, if he wants to play again, I'm sure they'll have him again.
Oh yeah. Yeah. But isn't that what you want to watch, you know?
I want
Look.
to see
Ooh,
people
Frank, we gotta
play
get
the
to get
game
in
of
here
Survivor
soon.
well. And
I-
I don't get that
Yeah.
with Gabler.
I think I don't mind goofy characters. They're fun. But I just don't take them seriously.
Mhm.
I'm very much of a game bot. I want a bunch of people like me out there.
I like a little mixture of both, but
Me too. I like funny seasons. That's entertaining. That's why I like, Gabon and
Gabon.
South Pacific, and
Oh, I hate South Pacific.
it's just like it's just like I want to watch. I want to laugh. I want to enjoy Survivor. I enjoy gameplay, but I
gotta watch
I want a
Yeah,
little bit of
I get my
human
enjoyment out
to
of the
it.
gameplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't need to see people be idiots for an hour.
Right.
Look, I don't mind a mixture of both. It's just when's seen a goofy character actually win the game. Tony, but he showed
But he wasn't a
strategic
goofy
chops.
character. He was just a character.
Yeah, he was just a character.
Yeah.
But like
He was a
goofy
great
character,
player.
like you don't see a lot of goofy characters.
I mean, Nora
do
made
well.
it. Nora made it to Final 3 too.
Fabio.
But she was a bad player.
She was a bad player.
Yeah.
And
Fabio.
Fabio was too.
Yeah, but look at that final 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's about covers it. Our challenge is calling us, Amanda. So we gotta
Yep.
pop off. They sent us the Zoom link, so we gotta get off of here and prepare for this challenge. So excited.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks. But until next time, we'll talk to you guys
Thanks.
later. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Adios.